ElizabethAStanley, Widen the Window, Training Your Brain and Body to Thrive During Stress and Recover from Trauma. In Widen the Window, Training Your Brain and Body to Thrive During Stress and Recover from Trauma, ElizabethAStanley explores how stress and trauma are interconnected and why they both significantly impact our lives. This book summary will delve deep into the complexities of the human brain and the role played by the thinking brain and survival brain. You'll discover how our autonomic nervous system, ANS, consisting of the sympathetic nervous system, SNS, and parasympathetic nervous system, PSNS, regulates our response to stress and trauma and its ultimate effects on our mental and even physical health.
Understanding the connection between stress and trauma. Stress and trauma are two interconnected issues. Stress is often considered a part of our daily lives, but trauma is viewed as a severe and long-lasting condition. However, for our mind and body, both of them lie on the same spectrum. Our brain has two parts, the surface and the survival brain. The surface brain is responsible for higher cognitive functions, while the survival brain controls basic survival functions such as breathing, sleeping, and hunger. It also regulates our response to stress. When the survival brain perceives a threat, it engages the autonomic nervous system, ANS, which turns on two branches, the sympathetic nervous system, SNS, and the parasympathetic nervous system, PSNS. The SNS activates stress while the PSNS turns it off. Our mind-body system has three lines of defense. The first one is the social engagement system, where we seek help from others. The second one is the fight-or-flight response, where we prepare ourselves to survive, and the last line of defense is freeze, which is often associated with trauma. Freeze occurs when the survival brain perceives us to be truly helpless, and it can leave the stress of the trauma stored in our body and brain for a long time. It's essential to understand the connection between stress and trauma and how they affect our body and mind. The impact of stress on the body and brain. Your body's stress response system is designed to provide a quick burst of energy to help you deal with danger. However, after such heavy activation, your body and brain need to recover to a healthy baseline. Chronic stress and unresolved trauma can impede recovery, leading to dysregulation of the body and brain. When this happens, the body becomes permanently focused on short-term survival instead of long-term health. Dysregulation is common after trauma, as well as during times of chronic stress, such as when a person is under pressure, worried, or sleep-deprived. It's important to note that the survival brain doesn't differentiate between real physical threats and symbolic threats, making ongoing negative thoughts just as dysregulating as a traumatic event. Recovery is crucial for protecting the body from the many negative effects of dysregulation. Dysregulation and stress. Dysregulation, which manifests in two different ways, can be harmful to both our physical and mental health. Dysregulation occurs when our mind-body system is stuck in either high or low mode, leading to hyperactivity or exhaustion. This unsustainable pattern can lead to chronic stress and trauma, which can further cause various stress-related diseases. Additionally, dysregulation negatively impacts our cognitive performance, impairing our memory, analytical skills, and moral judgment. It is crucial to recognize these patterns and find ways to regulate stress to maintain a healthy mind and body. The benefits of good stress. Stress is a natural part of human life, and in moderate amounts, it can even enhance mental and physical performance. This is known as eustress, as explained by the Yerkes-Dodson curve. The curve illustrates that performance tends to be highest in the middle zone, where stress levels are moderate. However, our ability to handle stress varies from person to person, and the size of our window determines how much stress we can handle while still performing well. Chronic stress or trauma can narrow our window, making us more easily dysregulated. On the other hand, managing stress with unskillful coping tools can further narrow our window. As a result, many of us live outside of our windows, constantly in stress mode, leading to negative effects on our mental and physical health, job performance, and decision-making abilities. To break this cycle, we must first understand what determines the size of our window. The link between stress, trauma, and biology. Biology plays an important role in determining our ability to handle and react to stress, and trauma can impact our genes, causing dysregulation and susceptibility to stress-related diseases. Childhood experiences, including early life stress, can further affect the window of stress tolerance, leading to hormone imbalances and poor impulse control. Later life trauma can also have an impact, and accepting the size of our window is the first step in widening it. Widening your window. Learning to widen your window through mindfulness and self-reflection helps you navigate stress and trauma. Are you constantly stressed and overwhelmed by the challenges of life? Do you want to learn how to manage your stress and trauma better? The first step is to understand your personal reactions to stress and trauma. Journaling is a great tool for self-reflection and helps you list and reflect on your experiences and behavior. Identify and list all the trauma you've experienced in life, including the seemingly insignificant traumas that your thinking brain may devalue. Think of bodily trauma too, it isn't just emotional trauma that counts. Then, list the present sources of stress in your life, such as work deadlines, financial worries, and family feuds. Next, reflect on the methods you use to cope with stress: smoking after every meeting, overeating a tub of ice cream, or compulsive exercise. Once you've finished these lists, you'll gain a better understanding of your traumas and the coping strategies you use, which is the initial step towards managing your stress and trauma. To help your survival brain recover from the accumulated stress and trauma, you need to learn to use your thinking brain. One way to direct attention to things that make the survival brain feel secure is by learning mindfulness. Mindfulness is proven to focus attention and train the brain toward stress management exercises, such as focused attention and open monitoring. With focused attention, you direct your attention to a particular sensation, sight, or thought and then keep the focus there without criticism or judgment. If your attention releases, gently shift your focus back to the start. With open monitoring, you don't direct your attention to any particular point, but instead, monitor everything in your inner and outer environment with neutral curiosity. Mindfulness helps train attention towards things that make the survival brain feel safe and grounded, which is the first step toward healing your stress and trauma. By managing the stress and trauma through mindfulness, you can learn and adapt better coping strategies, which help widen your window. Mindfulness-based mind fitness training. Learn to manage stress and trauma with MMFT's 2 exercises, contact points and ground and release. The program, created to assist soldiers facing these challenges, broadens the approach to include individuals from all walks of life. The exercises are simple but require consistent practice to engage the skill automatically. The contact points exercise, as the name suggests, focuses on the points of contact between the body and the environment, whereas the ground and release exercise helps individuals shift their attention to symptoms of stress activation and release indications. MMFT proves crucial in times where stress and trauma recovery seem elusive, offering unique techniques to help individuals broaden that window. Using mindful exercise to manage emotions and pain. This book advocates for mindfulness and introduces mindful muscle relaxation and focusing techniques, MMFT, as an effective exercise to help manage stress, difficult emotions, and chronic pain. The MMFT exercises help to ground yourself by focusing on your contact points. They teach your survival brain that there's nothing inherently threatening about the pain and increasing your capacity to tolerate it. Additionally, the book encourages developing healthy habits such as having an active social life, getting enough sleep, eating a balanced diet, exercising regularly, and practicing mindfulness to reduce stress levels and improve overall well-being. Small behavior changes that replace unhealthy coping tools can lead to healthier habits.
In conclusion, Widen the Window highlights the importance of understanding and addressing the impact of stress and trauma in our lives. By using tactics such as mindfulness and journaling to develop self-awareness, we can actively manage our stress and emotions. Implementing healthier habits, building a robust support system, and practicing self-compassion can help us foster long-term mental and physical well-being, and increase our ability to thrive in stressful situations. The key takeaways from this book summary are acknowledging the interconnectedness of stress and trauma in our lives, and utilizing practical strategies to manage them, ultimately leading to a life of resilience and recovery.